Have you ever wanted to perform high pull-ups like this? Good, stick with me because after this video you will know exactly how to go from 0 pull-ups to be able to do high pull-ups. Alright, so here we start with the most basic progression, which is bent knees Australian pull-ups. What we want here is to place our hands at the shoulder width on the bar, then lower down, bend your knees, get into a position comfortably, pull yourself up with control. Remember, scapular retraction is very important here, so keep it retracted. Also, avoid mistakes like helping too much from your legs or pulling only with your arms. So, once you learned how to activate your scapula properly and can do 5 bent leg Australian pull-ups, you can move on to the next progression, which is normal Australian pull-ups. Here the same principle applies. You have to pull from your back as much as you can and pause at the top. Touch with the chest. Goal is to do 10 clean repetitions. Now when you can do clean 10 repetitions of Australian pull-ups, you should be able to remove one foot and from here pull, and as well same principle applies, but this is the harder variation of Australian pull-up. So once you can do 8 repetitions, you can hang on the bar. So now since we can hang on the bar, our goal here is to strengthen our grip for the next progression. So you should be able to hold this progression for 20 seconds at least before you move on. Now, when you can hang on the bar for 20 seconds, you can move on to the next progression, which is the active hangs. Here we learn how to properly activate the scapula for the next progression, which is scapula pull-ups. The movement here should be slow and controlled, and once you can do 10 repetitions, you can move on to the next progression. Okay, so now since we can do 10 scapula pull-ups, we can move on to the next progression, which is negatives. And here you want to get on a higher surface so you can reach the bar. From here, just go and go down slowly as much as you can. All right, so now since we can do 5 negative pull-ups, you should be able to move to the next progression, which is the chin over the bar hold. What we want here is to hold in this progression for 5 seconds before moving on. Or if it's still too difficult, try holding in a mid-pull position. You can also combine mid-pull position with chin over the bar and back. This is an amazing progression to fill the gap between chin over the bar and a pull-up. Also, if you have a band, feel free to use it to achieve the pull-up. Just make sure it's not too easy. You can put it like this, jump, and go like this. Now since you've mastered the previous progression, you can do some pull-ups. Here I want you to remember the previous steps. Engage and retract your scapula, pull from your back. Once you can do 5 clean pull-ups without swinging or kipping, you're ready to move on to the explosive pull-ups. This is the progression where you'll start building explosive strength. You can also implement explosive Australian pull-ups as an accessory exercise. Every time you practice explosive pull-ups, strive to pull higher and higher until you can eventually pull high enough to reach your waistline. Alright, but Matthew, how do I build reps in a certain progression? Yeah, the answer is simple here. You just work on the progression that you can that feels challenging but not too easy. And when it gets easier, just move on to the next progression. And that's exactly how you go from 0 pull-ups to a high pull-ups. Hope this video helped. If you're looking for more routines and exercises, I leave link in the description. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next one.